Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk. We both know that you are wise to the ways of the world. No, don't be humble. You know this is true. You know that there are inevitable truths to the world, that the sun will rise in the morning, that you will pay taxes, that you will experience fear and failure as well as dreams and aspirations, that you will spend most of your life working to transfer wealth from your employer to your landlord, and the most fundamental truth of all, that Ironman do Barrows. So today, we're preparing to punch some ghosts. Let's go.
Freddie!
I've been thinking about the renard problem. The problem is that I don't have enough of them to make prayer pots, and I really would like to. So how do we fix this? Well, grinding enemies is one method, and I've been doing Forgotten Souls, but after about 1400 kills, I've only had 45 drops. So that is viable, but it's slow. The other method would be to grow my own, but getting seeds isn't that much faster, given that I've been using moss giants. So what to do? Well, looking at the wiki, it seems like the best methods would either be pickpocketing master farmers or doing farming contracts. I think that I prefer farming contracts, but in order to get my farming up to 45, I'm going to need a lot more seeds. And I'm going to want to get my thieving level up regardless, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to be stealing seeds from this stall until 38, and then switching over to master farmers. This will, eventually, let me get my farming level up to 45, at which point I can start doing farming contracts. I just hit 34 thieving, so just 4 more levels to go. I will see you in a few hours. And that's 38 thieving. That only took about 2 hours, which was faster than I expected. Time for a quick farm run, and then we can start bothering master farmers. So I just hit 50 fishing. Please, hold your applause. And though I'm not planning on switching over to fishing swordfish yet, because the catch chance is appalling, I did take a look at the wiki to see where I can fish them. And what did I see? You can just buy raw swordfish in Port Piscarius. 50 of them. Every half hour, they aren't even expensive. What the hell are my fishing lobsters for? And there are several ovens on the way to the bank from the merchant, and he sells sharks? Jagex, you're spoiling me. I am about to burn so many swordfish. So I think the plan for the next while will be to do farm runs every 40 minutes for my allotments, go out and buy swordfish and cook them in Port Piscarius, and then either fish, grind enemies, or pickpocket master farmers in the meantime. Also, hot damn, the pickpocket chance is so much better than RuneScape 3. This is actually enjoyable at 38. I did a lot of this in RuneScape 3, and this is quite painful for a while. I seem to remember finding a pickpocket rate calculator before, but I can't find it now. And the first herb seed that I got is a renard, so I've decided this means that my method is going well. Nice. I got the scurriest spine. Now, I just need to get a rune mace, which I believe I can just buy, and then we've got the bone mace. Realistically, it would be easier to make the bow or the staff, as I've already got the items I need for those, but macho melee man must mash. Okay, I can buy one in Valamor, probably. The restock time shows as unknown on the wiki, but that's going to be a lot faster to check than getting 32 quest points to buy one from the Champions Guild. I do need to do Children of the Sun, but that shouldn't take long. So these nerds are just wearing Soleil's armor from Dark Souls. I mean, it is called Children of the Sun, but wow, that is overt. Whoever made the exact pathing you need to follow for the stealth section is an actual hero and my new favorite person. Good job you, whoever you are. I'm not going to look this up, I'm lazy. Did Prince Itzla Arkan just threaten to cook someone alive? Okay, Children of the Sun is done, nice and quick. I really don't think I love the implications about the culture in Valamore, but we'll see. Also, this is a game, so I don't really have a choice. Oh wow, this place is pretty. A lot more Roman-looking architecture than I was expecting. You know, really getting strong Aztec vibes from these guys. Pictured more stepped pyramids, but still very pretty. These trees are neither baobab nor acacia. It's like a hybrid of the two. It upsets my brain to look at them because I'm seeing both and neither. I don't like this. Please change it. I'm just kidding, it's not that important, but fuck you, change it. And that's the rune mace bought. And the bone mace made. I think this is just objectively worse than the dragon longsword that I have, but it will let me finish off the achievements for Oscarius. I also think I want to get 2 more to make the bow and the staff because I have brain parasites. Wait, I just actually read the wiki. You can only use this mace against rats? What a weird restriction. Is this ever going to be useful? I mean, it's certainly useful for Scarius. It speeds up kills dramatically, and I don't have to use prayer potions anymore. But now that I have the mace, I don't really need to farm here. It's so weird. I guess I'll keep it if I ever decide to farm for the pet? Future me here. I actually wind up farming this a lot for stats. It's quite fun, so it's useful for that. But still, that's such a weird restriction on the weapon. I need to get the Corsair Curse done for a quest. I think it might be possible to get there without it. The wiki kind of makes it look that way, but I'm not sure, and I need to get it done eventually. So, a tale as old as time. 4 pirates think that they are cursed. 3 of them are idiots, and 1 of them poisoned the others. A classic. Quest complete. And that was totally worth it. The clue had 2 adamant full helms and a fire battle staff, which are nice high elks. But that amulet of power is actually huge right now. I think it's time to go test out the new toys and finish the achievements for Scarius. And so Sit Rat is done. Oh, that's what I named the last episode after, and I forgot to put that into the episode. My brain is enormous. Too big, in fact. I can't support the weight of it. Please send help. And I did efficient pest control. It actually took a few attempts because I didn't realize how fast you could swing, but that is the Scarius achievements did and done. Now that that's out of the way, it's time to start thinking about Barrows. First of all, I would like to upgrade my ranged weapon and armor. I have a green d'hide body, but I need to complete Dragon Slayer 1 in order to wear it. I don't need that quest to wear blue or red dragonhide equipment, just green, and green is the weakest of the 3. But hey ho, dragon slaying we shall go. I talked to Oziak to get the quest to go to Crandor and kill Elvarg, then returned to the Champions Guildmaster for a long list of items that I'll need to get there. Well, it's like 5 items, but it'll take a while to get those. I talked to the Oracle on Ice Mountain, then made my way down into the Dwarven Mines with a pocket full of nonsense to get the first map piece. Then off to Sarim to get the next. This is Wormbrain. Wormbrain has the second part. Wormbrain will sell it to us for 10,000 gold. Wormbrain also drops it when he dies. And so Wormbrain is no more. Oh, never mind. Wormbrain is immortal, it seems. Killed Melzar, who was mad, and a demon, who was lesser. Map part 3 is done. This anti-dragon shield looks kind of dragoned already. I'm trusting you, Horatio. I know where you live. I bought a boat. This will surely be with me for the rest of my career and be my trusted companion throughout my journey through the upcoming sailing skill. I convinced Ned to join us as captain of the Lady Lumbridge. That's the name of my boat, apparently. Oh, hey Jenkins, I didn't see you there. Who are you, by the way? Oh no, not Jenkins. Ah, he'll be missed. I realize now I could have prepared way better, brought some potions, that kind of thing, but here we are and these skeletons are hostile, so let's go. After a very intense fight with Elvarg, where we stood still, fiddled with our prayers to see if they helped, and occasionally stuffed an entire swordfish into our mouth, Elvarg lies dead at our feet. As is tradition in these parts, we then proceed to rip her head off. Jesus, Freddie, that's a bit much, don't you think? I was very tired when I wrote that and called the clip Dragonslayer 1 Getting Head Hee Hee. Wait a minute, it says right here, you cut off Elvarg's head as proof of your victory. That is most certainly not what I just did, but I think I'm okay with that being how history remembers this. And so Dragonslayer 1 is complete, and we are now officially, wait, I can get a better angle. And we are now officially that's an even worse shot, hold on. And we are now officially, are you serious, sir? And we are now officially a champion. Though, truth told, we look a damn fool right now. Feeling brave, I decided to dive into a Barrows run. I felt silly about my inventory full of armor, because ideally I should be praying through the brothers, but the attack bonus is probably worth the reduced food. This is where I realized I had better gear in my bank, and this is where I remembered I needed a shovel. The strange old man told us to dig, and dig we shall. I fiddled with what will work. Melee isn't cutting it on Verak, or I assume the other three melee brothers, but our magic accuracy is good, so yay. Also, he is hitting through my prayer. My god, Verak, slow down. The other three melee brothers went down much the same, minus the hitting through prayer. So now let's go to Carol. Okay, melee is not the answer to Carol. It seems like magic is the chosen way, so we don't need this melee gear then, right? That being the case, this looks much better. We'll probably need the extra food for Verak without the melee armor though. And Carol did dead. Okay, our accuracy against Arum is dirt, but it works. It's just expensive on prayer pots. I really want that magic shortbow now. The wiki puts it as a 10% accuracy upgrade. Also, I absolutely thought that strange icon was a helm. Ah well. It's still going to complete the His Faithful Servants mini quest and give us a map down in the tunnels. Speaking of which, and 20,000 prayer experience, thank you, sir. Okay, I guess it's time to get 80 fletching to get the magic shortbow. That's gonna take a while, but here we go then. Unfortunately, all these trees are making my hay fever really bad. It's... oh, gross. Don't you just hate it when you have several thousand longbows up your nose? Some of you are probably noticing that's not enough longbows to get to 80. And you're right, well done. That was some very quick math that you just did in your head. I had a whole plan for this. I was going to sit here for however long it took to get up to 80 fletching. As it was, I got about 60 hours into that grind, and then something happened that changed my plans. We'll get to that in a second. There was going to be this whole joke where I just snap my fingers and then I'm at 80 now, hooray, moving on. Whatever, that got scuppered. Here's a couple of things that happened along the way. We got 45 fletching, so we can make mithril arrows. 50 woodcutting, 55 woodcutting, 50 fletching. We got a decent rate of clue drops from doing woodcutting on the forestry worlds. I got myself some bare feet from a beginner clue. I also purchased the log bag for 5,000 anima infused bark and 300 noted oak logs. I'm not really using it for anything other than storing logs for the beekeeper event, but I'm guessing it will be worthwhile later when I start the construction grind. Hit 60 woodcutting, that's access to the woodcutting guild, and I can get a rune axe. I bought the axe. 55 fletching. I like the forestry worlds, but hot damn the public chat here. I'm not even going to show examples, but it's like the worst kind of forums during the early 2000s. The rest of the game is not like this. Why is it just forestry worlds? 65 woodcutting. I forgot to record it, but I got the Twitcher's gloves. I swear the clue rate has dropped since I set them to clues. Whatever. 60 fletching. I forgot to clip it. I used a screenshot instead. 70 woodcutting. I got the Zamorak Rune Scimitar ornament drop from a beginner clue, and this is what I would put onto my rune scimitar if I had one. Okay, minor diversion from the grind. I have a clue step here that requires snakeskin chaps, and getting enough snakeskin from the village cleanup minigame is gonna take a while, so we're just gonna knock out Bone Voyage quickly to get access to Fossil Island and hoop snakes. Also, a bit of trivia, but hoop is slang for butthole in certain parts of the UK. Also, every time I see the dig site, I am saddened that archaeology did not make it into old school RuneScape. I actually quite enjoy it, and it would have been a good fit. Are you joking? I'm 2 kudos short of the 100 required. I'm pretty sure I donated all the Kamdozal relics, so I've decided that Observatory Quest is going to be the quickest right now, so I guess I'm doing that, so I can do Bone Voyage, so I can kill snakes, to save time. You see? I'm very smart. And that is Observatory Quest completed. The list of things that went wrong with the previous ships in Bone Voyage is quite amusing. So I'm going to read that out. You're welcome. Well, the first barge had some serious design flaws. It didn't float. The second barge suffered from feature creep. Senior museum staff stuck their oar in and added unnecessary features. Go faster stripes, a portable fossil centrifuge, and a walk-in mini museum. Needless to say, it had buoyancy issues. The third barge made it out to sea, but a special sealant was used that attracted sea monsters. They didn't make it very far. The fourth also used a special sealant. This one attracted icebergs. The fifth barge crashed into the sixth. We lost the seventh one. The eighth barge is still here, we think. An accident involving a magical explosion and some anchovies means that it is now believed to reside 12 seconds out of phase. The ninth version was built using magic logs. The barge gained some form of rudimentary sentience. It developed serious depression and ran itself aground near Crandor. What a perfectly normal old man. The apothecary just managed to fit 2 entire bottles of vodka into this vial. Either he's drinking at least most of it, or these vials are absolutely huge. Anyway, that's the magic sea legs potion, a whole bunch of vodka, and some Marantil to make it taste medicinal. Okay, maybe putting the entire crew into a blackout drunk and then trying to navigate by myself was a bad idea, but we got there and that is Bone Voyage complete. And I'm a genius. I brought everything I needed to build the bank chest here, except for 21 construction. One day, chest. One day. I like Anachronia in RuneScape 3, but I think I prefer this. It's so much more alien and unusual looking, whereas Anachronia has Jurassic Park theme park vibes in RuneScape 3. Oh, and if you're wondering why I'm doing this with a felling axe and absolutely no armor, please understand, I am not a smart man. Also, I'm glad that these snakes don't poison, which raises the question, when did venom first appear? Because, obviously these are meant to be prehistoric creatures. So I looked it up and I found this, which was actually quite interesting. Another interesting thing is the trivia on the hoop snake on the wiki. Interesting in that it isn't a cryptid, it's more of an inside joke in Australia. Oops, I needed 51 crafting to make the chaps. Thankfully, I had enough gold bars and gems to make up the level. After all of that, we've made some chaps, which is something I can currently use in Barrows. This clue had better be worth it. It wasn't. I did all of that for kind of nothing. Though secretly I did kind of need those lore runes. The clue brought me into the PvP arena hospital for the first time. The table with an invisible character model except an arm and leg is quite funny. I came across a weird site. It took me a minute to figure out there had just been a Fallen Star event, and this was the AFKing miners who were standing around it. I thought I was on a forestry world and everyone had just decided to stand in a circle. In silence, I decided that this is what I'm going to call star cults moving forward. I kept going back to Sia's village to test out maples, and it was never faster than willows. Just because of the difference in chop rates, it would be faster if I had a better way of getting maple logs. We got 65 fletching, 45 farming. This is not relevant to what I'm doing, but it's something that I did anyway. I can finally start contracts. Made it all the way from 44 to 45 purely on the struggling sapling events. And I got the fox whistle. If the beaver ever decides to drop, I shall have a very fancy pet indeed. Got another hard clue. I'm 3 steps into it, and the next one is in the Barbarian Agility course. Bar crawl is required to get in there, but it won't take very long to do. So let's go get drunk over a long distance. And this is where my plans changed. So I completed the bar crawl quest and got my very first chest, first hard clue chest. I opened it alongside a beginner, easy, and medium chest, and I got a unique collection log item in each chest, and I thought the enchanted robe was the highlight of the hard one. It had a magic longbow in it. So I don't need to grind fletching to 80 now. The last 80-ish hours were still useful, but less exciting now. Arguably, it would still be worth it to grind to 80. The longbow is nice, but it has the same accuracy as a short bow with a slower attack speed. That said, that saved me another 150 hours or so of being exposed to Forestry World's public chat. And then at some point, I actually remembered to sell all of these longbows, which came to a little bit over 270,000. I could have gotten a lot more by world hopping, but that would have taken hours. I just didn't have it in me to do that. I just sent a second Barrows run with the current equipment. It was pretty sloppy. I had just gotten home from work, but still much smoother than the first clear. Also, I got trimmed green d'hide chaps from a clue scroll. Did I mention that before? I can't remember. Anyway, I have those now, which is fancy. I love being at a point in the game where 72 death runes is actually a little exciting to see. We'll probably wind blast next run over wind bolt. Any time saved is prayer doses saved, and that's a big deal right now. Decided I wanted to start working on my smithing in between farming contracts because I'm feeling at a bit of a loose end waiting for the ability to grow Ranar with super compost. Given that I'm currently mining mithril, the Varrock chest 2 seems like a worthwhile thing for the bonus to mining mithril. I do need 40 fire making for the quest requirements though, so let's go burn some logs. That was fast. Boy, I bet all of the fire making is going to be like that, super quick and painless. I can't wait. And now for the quest requirements. Gertrude's cat is up first. Gertrude lost her cat. We bribed some kids to tell us where it is. We found the cat. Oh my god, the cat has kittens. Better not trade those in for death runes. Wait. The cat has kitten. Singular. This got changed in RuneScape 3. It's now 3 kittens, which makes more sense as cats tend to have multiple offspring. Anyway. We will need the Ring of Karos Awakened, which means doing Creature of Fenkenstrain. So it's off to the swamp. As for the kitten, welcome to my bank. Enjoy your stay, enjoy not being death runes. I could have just bought this pickled brain. It would only cost 50 gold, but I am a mighty wizard and I shall commit crimes instead. Anyway, doing this because Fenkenstrain wants to do a Frankenstein. Let's build us a body. Oh, that's right. The experiments look so much more horrific in this game. Great. Dr. Fenkenstrain, necromancer and creepy old castle dweller, is a bird person. And the creature we just created is actually Lord Rolagath, the original owner of this castle. I bet this will be very important information to have in future. It won't. And now that we have the ring, we can get the wise old man to awaken it. And Gertrude can somehow change the color of our cat. But in order to do that, we need to do one of my very favorite quests ever, Garden of Tranquility. We answered some questions for the wise old man after talking to Ella Maria, and now have the awakened Ring of Karos. Unfortunately, we still need to do the rest of the quest. The next step involves running to most of the farm plots in the game and convincing the farmers there to give me certain seeds to grow in the Varrock Palace gardens by growing something else for them, which requires actually growing them. This takes so long. And yes, they can die. Funny you should ask. Oh cool, I spotted my first dragon impling on the way up Ice Mountain. One day, impling. One day. While I was waiting to regrow my cabbages outside of Ardoyne for the second time, I went and got the color selection task with Gertrude done. 3.5 hours later, I finally have all of the seeds, and we're not even done yet. Okay, seeds planted, time to go steal some statues. And now, finally, after all of that, we get to wait for everything to grow. I love this quest. Someone, somewhere, is probably murdering gnomes, as is right and good, but we should probably get paid to stop them. It's Tree Gnome Village time. We saved them or something. Who cares? What the hell is that tree doing? Okay, 2 more quests. One of them is new to me, the other is Enlightened Journey. So let's do the latter quickly. All I need to do is grow another bloody tree. Are you kidding me? It is the next day. I have just woken up. Time to cut some branches. Oh, of course, it only gives 6. That's actually on me. I could have at any point during the hours of waiting yesterday looked that up and planted a second tree somewhere. Oh well, I'll come back in a few more hours. And finally, after much ado, we can begin the quest. Well, that was so much faster than the prep. I didn't realize the quest plugin for RuneLite would just show the exact actions to take, so that was much easier than expected. Just one more requirement for the medium Varrock diary left. Wait, what? I was getting some logs to unlock the Varrock balloon and grabbed a normal log too, just in case. You can't cut this tree at Draenor? That's so odd. I could just look this up, but not knowing is funnier. Started a Soul's Bane. The start sets up a good mystery, but why did the parents wait 25 years to go looking for their son? He looks no older than 12 when he left home, but the husband only went looking a few days ago? No wonder he ran away. This is surprisingly dark writing. The shift in tone from the original quests to the more modern ones is pretty stark. Though I will say, even though I was enjoying it, the fear room is a little tedious. Kid, you really don't want to go into that hole. Oh, the confusion room is even worse. Were they worried the quest was going to be too short? Kill each hopelessness creature 3 times. Not even surprised. At least this is, thematically appropriate. Yeah, I don't think that's your little boy anymore. It doesn't shock me he doesn't believe you either. 25 years, my man. That was a neat little quest. It's a little weird their son morphed into some kind of horrific demon, but still aged. But I enjoyed that. Cook's assistant, that was certainly not. Oh yeah, and back into the rift for the final step of the Varrock diary. Oh no, did I just lose the frog event because I left the instance? Sadness. Whoa, dismay. And that is the Varrock Medium Diary did. I can now mine Mithril without the vague feeling of wasting experience and time. I feel like a little change. Like it's time for something different. That should do it. A medium clue has sent me to Miscellanea, which means I'll need to do the Fremennik trials. I already have all the stat requirements, so let's do it. I really have nothing much to say about this quest. It is long and not terrifically interesting. I mean, it introduces the Fremennik culture, but hey, guess what? They're essentially Vikings, you can probably guess. The quest does unlock quite a lot of things that are worth unlocking. If you're wondering, no, I didn't beat the 4th phase of Thorvald. It might be doable now, but I'll just come back later on. And that's quest complete. I figured the biggest prayer pot saving right now in Barrows will come from reducing the Arum kill times, as that's currently 3 doses at best or an entire Renar. In order to do that, we're really gonna need to get our ranged level up, and, well, Scurrius is actually reasonably profitable for me right now, and the experience rates are good. So we got a second spine and we ranging. It does make the fight a little scarier in the final phase compared to melee, because my defense is still bad and I take pretty consistent damage from the rats that I'm too lazy to kill, but a bit of extra food is fine. It's also a little more expensive on arrows than Slayer, because I still haven't gotten Ava's accumulator, but well, I don't have a good reason for not having that yet. It's just more expensive, okay? Finally got 66 magic and access to the Wizards Guild in Yanil. I don't have access to the rune shop yet. I know it only requires Hand in the Sand. I just don't feel the need to unlock it right now. But I do have access to the Mystic Robe shop, which is a nice upgrade on my magic gear right now. The robe bottoms are equivalent to the enchanted robe I got from a clue, but look less fancy, so we'll save some money there. The robe top was a little harder to decide on. I wound up buying it anyway, but the prayer bonus on the ancient robe top is nice, even if it means losing out on some accuracy. Anyway, this is our new magic fit. Time to test it out. Oh, also, I'm a fool. I compared the stats before making my purchases and realized the wizard boots had better stats than the mystic gear. Went ahead and bought the mystic boots anyway. Worth noting, I realized that the yew short bow was still better than the magic longbow. The additional accuracy is less useful than the higher attack speed for kill times. I also felt extravagant in my new gear, so I decided to bring blood runes for Windwave and rune arrows, which I've been idly grinding from Scurious. We've also learned a few things from the runs I've been putting in when I feel like wasting prayer pots, because that's essentially what I'm doing. I shouldn't be doing any runs until I'm prepared. I'm just wasting very hard to get Renar, but whatever. Like for example, doing Verak before doing Arum, as he hits through prayer and Arum reduces our defense. Also, that 2 of the melee brothers can be relatively easily safe spotted. I haven't actually learned how to do this yet, but we'll likely get around to doing that soon. This would save me some prayer doses. I just feel a little dirty about using safe spots for bosses. Though this is arguably a mini-game and not a boss, whatever. Overall, that felt much smoother. Still need an efficient way of getting here, but runs feel, a little bit less wasteful than they did yesterday. I just got Darok's Great Axe. I can't even use it yet, and I do not care. What an exciting drop. I don't even know if it's good. It seems like it has a pretty slow attack speed, but it's basically a red tearstone ring built into a weapon. That seems like it could be strong if I can get good at flicking. I got enough unidentified minerals to get the mining gloves. My mining and smithing setup is starting to look absurd. These do make coal mining feel faster though, which is not really what they're for, and probably confirmation bias, but still. This is a little embarrassing, but it took me 18 runs to realize I can prayer flick, or something approximating it. I'm not super comfortable with the timing yet, and I'm not using a metronome, but this saves a lot of prayer. And once you get used to the timing of the brothers' attacks, it's pretty easy to keep the rhythm. I should have been doing this from the start. I burned so many prayer pots because I didn't even think about doing this. I continued to farm Scurious in the background, and I got my 4th spine, which I turned into a lamp. Keeping one for the mage staff, though I doubt I will ever craft it, but this is a nice little boost to prayer experience. I'm also burning through a lot of arrows on these kills, maybe about 100 arrows per kill. It would be very efficient to have Ava's accumulator, but I think I'll wait. For a start, it's forcing me to do a bit of mining and smithing, and that's all adding up. It's also, very slowly, getting me fletching experience too. Most importantly, it's forcing me to take breaks from bossing, which will save me from burnout in the long run. All of that to say, I'm still too lazy to do animal magnetism and will probably wait until I'm consistently using rune arrows. Once again, a clue step is giving me a reason to stop procrastinating about doing quests. This time it's the Enter the Abyss mini quest for a hard clue step and potentially my second hard clue completion. So, it's time to do that. Okay, quest complete. It was nice and quick, and that brings us to 25 rune crafting. Let's see what this step gets us. This also gives us our first rune pouch for whenever I decide that rune crafting is something I want to do. Oh, Trollheim's Summit. I just double checked the wiki and it looks like that will require me to do Troll's Stronghold, which in turn requires Death Plateau, but you know what? I need to do those eventually anyway. and that will get me a disease-free farming spot eventually. So... wow, going back and forth from Burthorpe is so much less convenient than RuneScape 3. Burthorpe is basically to RuneScape 3 what Lumbridge is to old school RuneScape. It's even where you start on a fresh account, so it's obviously a little less out of the way. Death Plateau, which contains neither death nor a plateau, it's more of a cliff really. Complete. Okay, and on to Troll Stronghold. Wow, they just don't make boss fights like they used to. I just noticed that the experience drops from this are only 1 per attack. That's so weird. Was there some kind of exploit here? I don't see anything about it on the wiki, so if anyone knows, let me know. About halfway through the quest, we got access to the clue spot. And I mean, we're here and we're geared anyway. I don't have a shovel. Prisoners freed, let's teleport out, grab that shovel and return to finish up the quest. Quest complete and a lore talisman, which will probably be useful later. Alright, the next step is in Yanil. I know that spot. It's completely free to get there, and this will be step number 6. What a chest! Not only did we get a second longbow, which is hilarious, we got ourselves a magic shortbow. I legitimately considered going back to the fletching grind after I realized how much difference the attack speed made, but now we don't need to. And a Guthix plate body. At a point where it will be useful. It's essentially a rune plate body with the addition of +1 prayer bonus. Not huge, but I'd rather have it than not. The Morton teleports are just the game giving me more incentive to go try out the bow in Barrows. But first... it occurred to me while I was getting ready to go complete that clue that I should look what you can get from the crystal chest in old school RuneScape. I got both halves of the key. I can't remember where from. I think I got the loop half from Barrows, but I've got 3 tooth halves and I'm so used to them from RuneScape 3 that it didn't even seem noteworthy when I got them. This is something that also exists in RuneScape 3, and it always gives a dragonstone there. I just assumed that it wouldn't here. Well, it does. So the play here might be to go open the chest, grab our dragonstone, and then grind up to 55 crafting and make a ring of wealth. Just for the teleports alone, that would be worth it. And that is a dragonstone. That is... hilariously easy compared to the other ways of getting it. I can't actually cut this yet, but I need to get 55 crafting anyway, so let's go get it. Then we're going to Barrows, unless this proves to be time consuming. We did not even have close to enough gems to cut our way to 54, so let's go knock out a quick Barrows and then see about blowing glass or something. No, of course I didn't use the Morton teleports. Pfft, it's not like I forgot or anything. Okay, so the upgrade is marginal. I still do not care. I'm very excited to have this and I'm going to be using it for a long time. This was chest 31, by the way. Decided to turn the cut gems I had into amulets for a bit of gold, and that is 54 crafting. That's 54 smithing. And 270 tiaras later, 55 crafting. Okay, let's make the ring. Wait, what runes do I need again? Earth, water, and cosmic. Alrighty then. Wait, what am I missing? My level isn't high enough? I'm only 13,000 experience short? Well, we can take care of that quickly then. I ran out of runes. I am a fart away from 68 and I ran out of runes. 68 magic or whatever, what a drag. And that is the Ring of Wealth. Are you joking? Not an hour after making the ring, I got an elite step from Sherlock to enchant some Dragonstone jewelry. Well, I have enough stardust for some gem bags, so let's see if we're lucky right now. Nope. I'm gonna cut these gems and do some thinking. Yeah, no, I'm stumped. Hope to get lucky and find a loop half of a key, I guess. It has just come to my attention that the Falador shield from the Falador Achievement Diary restores prayer points. It's only a once per day thing, but any dose of prayer pot saved right now is a big deal. I need to get that done. Also, it has just occurred to me that that was my item stack on the ground. I normally have less food in my inventory by the time I get to the chest. Oh well, it was only some mind runes and like 2,000 gold. Chest 40, by the way. I will need to get 16 construction and do 2 quick quests in order to do the easy diary, but that is a very good reason to stop procrastinating on construction. I have been wanting stash units for a while now. Doric's quest is super easy, just mine 12 different ores. Okay, fine, 6 ores and 6 clay. And talk to Doric. That's it. Quest complete. Okay, that's 16 construction, and that's the requirements for our crest, which is Asgarnia. A white star on a blue field. Okay, could be worse. I actually decided to do a little bit of Barrows before completing the easy diary, just a tiny bit after work, you know, and got my second drop, a Verax Brazard. It's not that exciting, really. The defenses are worse than the other sets, while also giving not attack bonus for melee. Still, very happy to have it though. That's the Knight Sword complete and 58 smithing into the deal. Getting so close to adamant, and thankfully, because my brain is huge, I forgot to get a second blue-right ore to forge Doric's anvil for the diary task. So back to Port Sarim. Okay, got more ore, back to Falador. North to Doric's, and that's the crossbow limbs forged and diary completed. Back to Falador, talk to Cerebral. Shield claimed. Lamp not put into runecrafting because it's not level 30 yet, so we dumped it into Herblore instead. Quite like the look of the shield too. I don't know why, it just looks good. I guess that means it's time to do another Barrows run, you know, to test the shield and make sure it worked. Be a real shame if it turned out to be a dud. Okay, that was actually a messy run, and I used more doses than I needed to, but I can confirm that the shield works. It's only once per day, but every dose adds up in here. Decided to go try the giant mole. I don't know, it just popped into my head and I followed the stray thought. This is definitely an old boss. It got reworked into the tutorial boss for RuneScape 3, sort of. It's kind of bad, but this is a classic super high defense, almost no mechanics RuneScape boss. Fun. I have a 25% chance to hit, and this has so much health. Oh, this gets so much better once it starts burrowing. Okay, that's the first kill. It's not great, honestly. The super high defense, combined with the huge roam area that it can burrow to, and the chance to burrow off of a hit of 0, makes the latter half of the fight pretty gross. That said, it's almost free resource-wise apart from the approximately 2 billion arrows that you need, and the seeds and other drops aren't terrible. I don't know, this can go into the back pocket for now. Oh, yes, I do know about the Falador diary and getting the mole locator. I'm just too lazy to do that right now. And that was Barrows 55, starting to feel like I can settle into a farm here. Our prayer usage is low enough, so let's go. 4 kills later, and it is Gethan's Warspear time. Happy to have it. That is a nice set to have, though the spear is probably the least exciting part of it. And that, I think, is where I'm going to call an end to this episode. Next episode, we'll really get into the Barrows grind. This was more sort of the prep for it. and a little bit of miscellaneous other stuff because I'm very bad at keeping myself focused onto a single grind. Apologies for how long this took to come out, but we're back into the grind and the next episode should come out a little bit faster. Fingers crossed, we'll see how that goes. I want to say thank you once again for watching. I always do appreciate it, and if you made it this far, well done. Congratulations. I will see you next time.
Freddie.